Some people might say that it's a very regrettable thing to have.
I think people find them sometimes intimidating. You've been used to kind of signify otherness.
Might be associated with violence.
They might not have a stable job or they don't have a good education.
I got mine at 17. It wasn't legal, but it's not that big of a crime.
Probably linked to a lot of old religious views and stuff, like you're marking like the body that like God supposedly gave you.
Because why would you get something on your body if you weren't going to identify with it?
I got my first tattoo 2 days after I turned 18. My dad has tattoos, so there's never any stigma around him at home, really. When I was 16, my childhood cat Chowder died suddenly. He was amazing. He loved being held and to sit on your knee, and he purred so loud that the house always sounded like there was a plane flying overhead. Losing him hit us really hard. I had to take a few days off college. He came into our lives in 2011, so we'd all forgotten what it was like to not have him around. My sister was 24 when he died, and that kind of spurred her to get her first tattoo. One of my favourite photos of him is from when he was maybe 1 year old. We were having a game night as a family playing Scrabble. I think someone put some of his cat treats in the tile cradle, so he's reaching into it as if he's part of the game. In the photo you can see my older brother behind him. I think he was around 10. He's 23 now. I love that photo. It's so stupid. It's my cat playing Scrabble, but it's like a freeze frame of my childhood. So I went to the artist that did my sister's tattoo and I got that photo on my thigh. I think that's my tattoos in a nutshell. The time capsules. My skin's like a scrapbook of my past, the things I used to love, things that were in my life once that are gone now, and all the people that I used to be. I don't feel like I've been the same person all my life. I think about my childhood and I see it almost from an outside perspective, like it happened to someone else. I guess it's a symptom of growing up trans. It's difficult to reconcile that it was actually all me. You know, back then I had a different name, different body, different relationship to people around me. I was a completely different person. But I don't like that. I don't want to lose my connections to that little kid. They're as much a part of me as I am, and it's not their fault that my connection to them's murky. So I guess a big part of my reason for getting tattoos is to give them space to continue existing within the person that I've become. My body's changed in so many ways. I've been on testosterone for 4 months at this point, and I'm getting top surgery in 3 weeks. I'm making my body mine, so I guess when I get tattoos of that child's cat or their favourite TV show or Shaggy and Scooby-Doo to match with our dad, it's my way of making sure that some part of me still remains theirs, even after everything we've gone through. The permanency of tattoos is something I see a lot of people talk about, like a source of fear, that these things are on your body forever, but that's the whole point. I know that these things aren't always going to represent who I am at any given moment, but the point is that it did once. I like to carry those reminders with me as I grow and change and develop new tastes. I've got my right forearm kind of reserved for tattoos that I get on holidays. I've got my little Keith Haring doodle. I got that in Brooklyn when I went to New York with my best friend when we were 18. Yeah, Keith Haring's art has a deeper meaning of queer joy, that's partly why I got it, but it's also just a souvenir from that trip. Likewise, the floral that I have below it, I got that at a shop in Nice in the south of France. It's the national flowers of Italy and France, the two main places that I went with that same friend last summer. Am I always going to think that those trips are of the utmost importance? Probably not. I'll go to other places, see other things, but those trips are important to me right now, so in some way they'll always matter. On that trip we went to the Sistine Chapel too, in the Vatican. It reminded me of the age-old adage that your body's a temple, and standing in that crowded room looking up at the creation of Adam, I thought, you're damn right. My body absolutely is a temple and I should decorate it like this. I like using my tattoos as a kind of map. I think the places that I find myself in can shape who I am. I'm debating getting a couple of tattoos before I finish uni, one for Halifax, my hometown, and one for Lancaster. I don't know what I'd get, if I did get one for Lancaster. I can't say there's a specific image that jumps out when I think of it. I'm Yorkshire born and bred, so a red rose is definitely out of the question. I could get a duck. I like seeing them wandering around on campus. For facts, I reckon I'd get our gibbet. Apparently it's what inspired what's-his-name to make the guillotine in the French Revolution. It's massively macabre, but it's also sick. Like, yeah, my hometown's probably more well known for highbrow culture, like the Peace Hall or like Gentleman Jack, but it's also famous for executing people in the 1200s. It's a bit of niche history that I think could make the tattoo more personal. Like, someone seeing it, I'd probably get it on the back of my calf, probably just think, oh, a guillotine tattoo, cool, but I'd know that it's more personal than that. I know what my next tattoo is going to be. Like I said, I'm getting surgery in just a few weeks, and when I'm healed, I want to get a green man in the middle of my chest. I got massively into folklore in my first year of uni after we watched The Wicker Man in one of my classes, and folklore's all about connections to your environment and to the past, and I find massive comfort in those ideas. The green man symbolises rebirth and renewal, which I think pretty much perfectly sums up the journey that I found myself on for the past 20 years. It's a symbol that I really want to carry with me to remind myself of where, who and what I once was and what I am now. My tattoos help me to feel ownership over my current and past selves, and I think that my ideology about tattooing can be summed up in the mantra that always crops up in some form or another in folklore traditions. As it was, so it shall be.
Hi.
Hi.
You're filming the project.
Yeah.
Oh wait, if you're editing, could you send the...
Oh yeah, sure.